Welcome to Spotlight.
You are watching Spotlight, brought to you by the New Tang Dynasty TV and sponsored in part by the Asian American Chamber of Commerce. Our unique program casts a bright focus on topics, events, and issues relevant to Asian Americans in Virginia, Maryland, and the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And who, you may ask, makes up the members of our Asian American communities within the Washington, D.C. metro area.
สบายดีสื่อขน่อยซูนิเวสคอยคนลาวอเมริกา
I am Mary David and I am Indian American.
Xin chào quý vị, em tên là Hồ Hoàng Kim.
My name is Dr. Stephen Ong. I'm a Chinese American.
제 이름은 강원희입니다. 저는 한국계 미국인입니다.
For the next few minutes, join us as we discuss meaningful issues, events, and topics as they relate to Asian Americans, their businesses, cultures, and communities. I'm your host, Dong Shaw. It is a 2014 midterm election. No one is suggesting that the Democrats can net the 17 seats needed to take control of the House from the Republicans. Usually in a midterm election, the president's party loses. That might be an even greater likelihood this year, given the unpopular health care law and President Barack Obama's low approval ratings. Yet, Republican retirements in a half-dozen swing districts provide the Democrats with an opportunity to grab a handful of seats this November. The 10th congressional district in Northern Virginia is one of these swing districts. In the 2012 election, GOP presidential nominee Mitt Romney narrowly won the district, but 4 years earlier, then Senator Obama prevailed there. I'm joined today by John Foust, Democratic candidate for the 10th congressional district. Welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
The 10th congressional district stretches from McLean to the West Virginia border and includes all of Loudoun County, portions of Fairfax and the Prince William counties and Winchester. It is more Republican overall. What are your prospects for November? Will you win, and by how much?
Well, it's a very mixed district. I would say that it's getting more and more Democratic. It probably might have a slight lean Republican, but the issues are what's going to determine the election. And I think on the issues, whether it's women's health care issues, whether it's budgeting, whether it's creating jobs or supporting education, I believe I am on the right side of those issues. And I believe that I am the better candidate. So yeah, yes, I definitely think I'm going to win.
You sound confident. Well, tell me more about yourself, your career, what you have done that prepares you to be the next representative for the 10th district.
First, let me talk about my values. I was born in Western Pennsylvania, working class family. I was the first person in my family to go to college, and I had to work in the steel mills and on the railroad in order to pay for my education. So I think I bring those values to this job. I believe that education is critical, and it is what creates opportunity in this country, whether for people who have been here for generations or for new immigrants. Education is the key. I also have demonstrated on the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors that I'm able to work across the aisle. I'm able to work with Democrats, Republicans, and with my constituents to set priorities, to get things done, and to find reasonable solutions to common problems. Unlike what's happening in Washington today, where you have such dysfunction, such overt partisanship, and I believe that prepares me. And of course, I've also been, I have an MBA and a law degree. I've spent a lot of time working with budgets and with transportation, and on the Board of Supervisors with education, environmental issues. So I'm very well prepared to go to Washington. I think I have the values needed in a good congressman, and I definitely think I have the experience that's needed.
You describe yourself as mainstream and pragmatic. Let me tell you this, every candidate says that. Can you elaborate on it? Give me a few examples.
Yes, I think you're absolutely correct. Most candidates will say they will do that, but I'm able to point to a record where I have done that, and I've demonstrated that I will work with across the aisle. On the Board of Supervisors for 7 years, we've dealt with some very challenging, difficult budgets. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Budget Committee and Chairman of the Audit Committee. We have been able to find millions and millions of dollars of cost savings, cuts. At the same time, we have been able to come together and continue to invest in important things like full-day kindergarten and transportation improvements. We've done this on a bipartisan basis. I've worked, our board typically votes in a bipartisan way to adopt our budgets. This is totally unlike Washington, D.C., I know that. And the reason we're able to do it is we respect each other and we communicate. We don't just talk, we listen. And, I believe we always keep as our priority the public interest as opposed to partisan interests.
A specific question. What is your opinion on expanding Medicaid in Virginia?
I am fully supportive of extending Medicaid in Virginia. There's a number of reasons. First, of course, is the fact that there are 400,000 working Virginians who will get health care as a result of the extension. These are people who make just a little bit too much to qualify for Medicaid without the extension, but not enough money to qualify for the supports through the exchange, the ACA exchanges. So that's one major reason I support it. I also support it because we've already paid for it. We send our money to Washington and they don't send it back. They use it to buy health care in other states because we have not agreed to expand Medicaid. The other reason I support it is that it will create over 20,000 jobs in Virginia. And we definitely have to focus on job creation. We have to focus on good jobs going forward into the 21st century, and this would enable us to do that. There's a variety, numerous other reasons, including the fact that thousands and thousands of veterans, people who have served our country honorably, are in that gap and would get health care coverage if we expanded Medicaid. So I'm very supportive, and I am very hopeful that the Virginia legislature will cooperate with Governor McAuliffe and adopt Medicaid expansion.
The government shutdown was a determining factor in your decision to challenge Congressman Frank Wolf last year. Now, given the fact that Mr. Wolf will not run for re-election, is your opposition to the government shutdown still your major strategy to win votes?
No, it was what stimulated my decision to get involved. It kind of focused me on the dysfunction, the fact that nothing's getting done in Washington. I feel like the Congress is ignoring the fact that our educational system is falling behind, that our environment is being potentially going to be destroyed by climate change. They're not focusing on the fact that we have our infrastructure is crumbling, and our jobs and opportunities are not keeping up. So, the government shutdown drove home the point, certainly, and when you focus on how dysfunctional Washington is and how partisan it is, that was all the incentive I needed to get in the race and run for Congress.
A follow-up question. Do you believe that in November, the government shutdown will still resonate with voters in Virginia? It will be a distant memory, overtaken by dissatisfaction with Obama and the frustration with the health care law. What will you do to the Affordable Care Act if you win the election in November?
Well, first of all, you have to have a Congress that's willing to work to fix it. The Republicans, all they want to do is repeal it and turn our health care system back over to the insurance companies so that they can decide whether we get health care, when to take it away from us, how much to charge us for it. That mentality is not working. Obamacare can be fixed. There are things we can do. For example, a major improvement would be to allow the Medicare to negotiate drug prices. It would save billions of dollars and help lower everyone's health care costs. There are numerous things that can be done to make it less, or make it better for small businesses, to make health care less expensive. And those are the types of things I intend to work on. And I just believe that we have come a long way in terms of health care in this country. There's opportunities to make it better, and we need to do that.
For voters like me, who are from Asia, who were not born in the U.S. but are naturalized U.S. citizens, who are enthusiastic about voting, tell me this: why should I vote for you on Election Day?
Well, I believe our values are very similar. I think our backgrounds in some ways are similar. Immigrants deserve so much respect for the efforts they make to come here, to get an education, to establish themselves, and to live the American dream. I feel I've lived that in part, although born in the United States, to achieve the American dream, I had to do a lot of similar things. Beyond that, since I've been on the Board of Supervisors, I have spent a lot of time and effort in trying to work with minority and immigrant communities. I've appointed numerous members of those communities to boards, authorities, and commissions. I believe that there's so much value in our diversity in Northern Virginia, and to maximize that value, we've got to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to participate and contribute. So I've been working on that very aggressively since getting on the board. I've also been endorsed by the elected members of the Asian American Pacific Islander community in Northern Virginia. They know what my experience has been with working with minority groups and immigrant groups, and they are fully supportive, and I hope that I will get your support and the support of the entire immigrant community.
Congressman Wolf made his name known by working on human rights issues and earned himself lots of supporters. What do you say to his supporters? I give you the last word.
Yes. I say that Frank Wolf deserves an enormous amount of credit for the attention he's brought to the human rights issues and for the efforts he's made to ensure that people's human rights around the world are protected. I recognize that is his legacy, and as the congressman who replaces him, I intend to focus on that issue as well and do hopefully make the same level of contribution that Frank Wolf has made.
Thank you, John. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you and your listeners.
Thank you. Please tell us what you think about our show and let us know what you want to discuss on Spotlight. Are we doing a good job? We appreciate your feedback. Please write to us. You can write to us from anywhere in the world. The email address is spotlight@ntvtv.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Dong Shang. I hope you will join us next time.